Have I ever been a Karen? You kiddos watching who know all what Karen means, go get a pair of scissors and go play in traffic while I hope the boomers understand what Karen means. Karen is internet shorthand for a white woman making a big scene, usually in a retail place, and not getting her demands met to her satisfaction. And she eventually wants to speak to the manager. She's got a designer haircut and big sunglasses on. Those of you boomers who are like, well, that's kind of a rude way to describe somebody, just like in a shorthand name like that. I have one name for you, Dawn Rickles. It's that same kind of insult humor, just translated for the internet. Here's what I think a Karen is not. I don't think Karens include the women who call the cops on black men who are out bird watching, or get annoyed by people speaking Spanish in the grocery line, or call the cops for the black children selling lemonade on the corner. No, they're just racist. They don't get to be called Karens. In defense of Karens, though, Karens are busy women trying to just get it done. They have things to do, people to see, places to go, things to cross off their list. And if you get in their way and make it difficult for them to get their stuff done, you're going to hear about it. You just don't want to end up on the internet. A Karen ends up on the internet. You can go find them. Go look, boomers. Go search Karen. You'll see all kinds of examples. It'll be good homework for you. All right, kiddos, come back. Here are my two Karen situations. In the early 2000s, I bought a cottage house. It was an old house. It was built in the 1940s. And there was a leak at the base of the toilet. And the underfloor, the underlayment, subfloor, I don't know what that stuff's called, started like swelling and getting all bumpy. And my floor was just a terrible mess. And so I had to get it all ripped out, toilet out, floor out, subfloor out. And I wanted to get that really good waterproof flooring under what was going to be the vinyl over that. And it cost extra money, quite a bit of extra money. So I had a contractor, paid up front for the supplies, and was going to be all set with my new floor. The day they installed it, I just happened, and I didn't always get a lunch off, but today I had a lunch off. Went to just check it out, and the two guys are putting down just like particle board. I go, hey, this is not the stuff that I ordered. I ordered, I don't know what the brand name was for it anymore, the high-end moisture-proof, some kind of special plywood. And they're like, well, lady, this is on the order. This is what it says right here. This is what we're going to be putting in. This is what we're going to install. I'm like, no, you're not. I didn't order that, and I didn't pay for that, and now you've got to rip this all out today, please. And I'll be back later on to check and see that that's the exact floor that went in. You could feel them kind of like, But hey, that's what I paid for, right? And too bad for them that I showed up and got to see what was being installed, because later that day it would have been all covered up and I would have never known. The other example, this happened actually just a couple months ago. I was at Joann Fabric, and I love sewing. Sewing is my big thing. There's my dress form back there, but that's not the shape of me. That's a size 8. That's just there for fun. And then the fabric on the shelf will someday be what I'm wearing here for camera. So the way retail works these days is you buy things online, and it's so convenient. So dangerous. You just click what you want, and it shows up in the mail, and there it is. But you don't ever really get to see if it's what you really, really wanted, and if it works with your whole idea or scheme or whatever you're working on. So I am a notorious returner of merchandise. So I brought my goods and my receipt. I always save my receipt. Go to Joann's, and I get to the cashier, and I can tell she's new. And she maybe even had a thing that said new person. So we'll call her the new girl. And the store was situated so that there's me, the cashier, and then an aisle behind her, and then the rest of the store. And in the aisle behind her, we'll call her old girl. So I'm bringing in my stuff to be returned. I've got my receipt, and she's, clicking away and entering into the cash register, and she gets stuck, and she reaches back for old girl and says, do I enter this little number here? Is that the number that goes in this space here? And old girl comes around and is at the register with her and says, yeah, it's you do this, here, this and that, and click these numbers and whatever. She goes back to what she's doing, arranging flowers or merchandise. So we're progressing, and we get to another stuck spot, and new girl says, so is this the little code that goes in this next spot here? Old girl comes around at the register, helps new girl through the next little hurdle. And I'm standing there like a good non-Karen. And it happens again. And new girl says to old girl, is this the blah, 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 blah? And old girl comes around and helps her yet again. And as old girl is turning away to go back to the merchandise, I said, couldn't you just help her so I could go home, please? And new girl and old girl kind of, you can feel them like, and it was my tone. I did say, could you please help her so I could go? That's how I put it. Could you please help her so I could go? And I said it in that tone. And my little Karen radar kind of went off. You know, I was a little, did I say it too much? But it was like 3 times. For 3 times, I waited for her to get it done and have old girl should just come over and help new girl and just get it done and be pleasant about it. But I was maybe a little Karen on that one. So have you ever been a Karen? Does a Karen lurk inside you? Keep your Karen submerged, otherwise you're going to end up on the internet. Today is 22,325. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again. Bye.